Hello and welcome back to the Coach's Legacy channel. In today's video, we'll explore some common problems that can occur when dealing with a Node.js application deployed on an EC2 instance. Now, we're going to discuss some fixes that mainly target the connection timeout problem, but obviously these fixes will apply to a broader range of problems. So even if you have some other error, you can follow along with this video and we'll troubleshoot basically almost every kind of problem that can result in you being unable to access your EC2 instance. So for example, if you have some code here and you're trying to access your Node.js application that you've deployed and it's not working, that's what this video is for. Okay, so we'll discuss some fixes and we'll start from the very base. So what we're first going to start with is discussing whether you have the correct VPC configuration. Okay, so what you need is a VPC that has at least one public subnet. Okay, and how do we know if a subnet is public or not? Let's discuss that briefly. So just search up VPC, okay, and then come over to the VPC dashboard over here. And this is the VPC that I've created, okay, tutorial VPC. So I'm just going to go to subnets, copy the VPC ID, and paste it in here to filter out the subnets which are associated with this VPC. So I have 4 of them that were created by default. I used the VPC wizard to create this, and what I did is use this public subnet to host my EC2 instance. Basically, if you look at the instance summary, if I go over to my EC2 dashboard, okay, just search EC2 and come over here. So if you click on the instance, you'll see the instance summary. So you can check the subnet ID over here, okay, which is public 1 US East 1A, okay, which is this one right here. So now that I've identified my subnet, I can click on the subnet or just look at this down here, this information down here. So what you want to do is check the route table, the route table that it's connected to. And you want to make sure that it's connected, the route table that the subnet is associated with has a connection to the internet gateway. We call this typically a public route table, okay? That's meant to be connecting the subnet and anything associated with the subnet, like the EC2 instance, to the internet. Okay, so this is the public one and it has an internet gateway connection. If you guys do not have this, that means you won't be able to access your, you won't be able to access your instance. So in order to fix this, what you guys can do is first go to internet gateways, create an internet gateway. This is pretty simple, okay? You just need to type a name and it's going to create the gateway. All right, then you just attach to VPC. Okay, once you've created one, let me just create one test, okay, and create an internet gateway. And I've reached the limit, so I guess I can't create any more. I can just delete one of these two. All right, let me just delete this one, detach, and delete it. Okay. So once you create one, then the option for attach will also be there in the actions menu. So we'll just call this one test, then this created. So what you want to do is, it's right now detached, right? So just attach to a VPC, then select the VPC, all right? And it'll be created. So now that we've discussed that, you go into your route table, the route table that you can look up the route table name from here. All right, this is the name of the route table. Tutorial RTB public. RTB stands for route table. So just click on this and then edit routes, come over here and just add the internet gateway, okay, with this configuration. So that's pretty much it, and your connection should be established. Now, what about, that's the basic configuration. Okay, we've discussed the problems that can occur at a root level. Now let's move on and discuss the ports, okay, because if you've made it this far, that means you are able to access. So if your problem is still not resolved, then let's move to the next step. We'll check the instance now. We'll check everything about it, like the security group, the ports, and the DNS. So the IP over here, public IP, is something that never changes. Okay, it's constant. But what I've heard is that this public IPv4 DNS can change. If you stop the instance and then reboot it, there are cases I've heard of where this has changed. So what you need to do is double check it. Like if you pasted this somewhere in your code, for example, then you rebooted your instance, then there's a chance that this has changed. So just double check that this matches this. Okay, just copy it and then paste it over there just to be double sure. All right, If that's not the issue, let's proceed and double check the ports. So first, just make sure that the ports are all consistent with each other. Go to your code first to verify that which port is being used. It doesn't matter which one you use unless you're using one of the forbidden ports, one of the predefined ports like port 25 or port 80. Don't use those. Those are reserved ports. So use some other port, like 3000 and above. Pick anything really. So we're picking port 3000 over here. Then we'll go to our code, make sure we're using port 3000, or if you're just pasting this into the URL, like over here, just make sure you're using 3000 over there. Okay, once you've done this, then go over to the route table, okay, the tutorial route table that we discussed. Wait, sorry, not the route table, the security group. So go over to the security group, okay, and if you're confused as to which security group, let me just go here and show you how to figure it out. Just go scroll over here and you'll see the security group name. Okay, so launch wizard 4, go to security groups over here, and there's launch wizard 4. Click on the security group, and we need to double check, edit inbound rules, okay, and we need to double check. See, this is the RDP connection, and this is created by default. This should be created by default, and what we want is this one, the custom TCP one. So for port 3000, we have enabled TCP from anywhere, okay. That's what it means. Allows all IPs. So any IP can access the application on this port. So verify that this port is also consistent with the port in our Node.js code, etc. Okay, verify this. And if your issue is still not resolved, then let's move over to the next step.